Welcome to the Social Podcast, where no discussion or debate is off limits.
Welcome to the Social. It's a Thursday. Welcome to it. It is. I'd like to welcome, for the first time, comedian and actor Jenna Ortega. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Thank you.
We're going to let the audience know what you're up to a little bit later. But
right.
first, why don't we dig into our first topic? So Emma Watson, she was on Jay Shetty's On Purpose podcast recently. She ended up getting really honest about how hard it is to make friends working in Hollywood. So the question is, should you be looking for your lifelong friends at work? At work. What do you think, Gina?
Well, I understand where she's coming from. I mean, look, she grew up on Harry Potter. She was there from childhood. She went through puberty on that show. So it was like going to the same boarding school with these kids and all growing up together. So I can understand why she expected that on the next few jobs. And in Hollywood, it's not necessarily like that. But having said that, I've worked on shows. I'm like that myself. I'll go on a show and I'm like, oh my God, we got the best job in the world. We get paid to turn up and play. Like, let's be friends. What do you do on Saturday? Do you want to play pickleball? Let's go. So I can understand where she's coming from.
Does that work well for you?
Yeah, I've made some very good. My last show, Bob Hart's Abishola, I'm still very good.
Bob Hart's Abishola,
Yeah,
P.S. Amazing show. Amazing show.
I've made some lifelong friends from that show, and we're still on a text group, and we're still hanging out and texting, and some of them, you know, one of the guys, the guy who plays Goodwin on the show, he's from Toronto. He's Nigerian who lived in Toronto. So whenever we're back in Toronto, we hang out together. And Star Trek, the new show that I'm on, Starfleet Academy, the cast and crew are great, and we hang out as well. Yeah.
So, yeah,
nice.
so that's interesting. Yeah.
So I'm looking for friendships at work. I don't care what anybody says.
I love that you say that. I love that you have those experiences, because I thought that she was being maybe a little naive, because it's such a competitive industry that I'm like, especially when you're younger, maybe when you're older, you feel a little bit different. That it's like the people that you're friends with, you guys are having a nice time, but the next gig, you might be up against that same person that you were in that project with. And I worked on a lot of shows where we go and we shoot something on a location for a few months, and I understand how she feels. It does feel like you're your own little family, and you have your inside jokes and you spend long hours together. But I also liken it to, you know, when you go on vacation and you fall in love with that scuba instructor or the guy who, right? And you have or the person who works there, or that other person, you have this like wonderful moment, you think it's the greatest. The reality is, when you leave, you come back to reality, and that person or those people don't really fit in your regular life. And I feel like that's the issue that she might be having, where she's like, I had this great time. How come I can't have these people all the time? It's like, that was a moment, and that moment is over, and then you'll go to another set and you'll have a different moment.
I hope that every person who's ever been on a dating show just heard what you just said. That's why it doesn't work.
I hope
Like, for me, the average person spends 1/3 of their life at their job. That's around 90,000 hours of our lives. If you cannot find friends there, I can't even imagine, why do we want to do this? To me, it is an absolute must-have. And it's interesting that you mentioned, I know what you mean about in these particular industries, how there can be a lot of competition. But I think in good friendships, you would actually be rooting for each other to get that win. Because when they get a win, then you get a win, and then it kind of builds from there, as opposed to thinking of it as like a competitive necessarily thing. It can be a lifting
up. I want that, but when there's only one spot and it's down to me and Gina.
It's over.
Thank you. As lovely as she is, I'm like, but you know what? I gotta edge her out. So I know what you're saying, but sometimes when there are just a few spots, especially for us women, that competition just naturally
I have the
rises.
answer to that.
Once you get in there, though, once you're in there,
Once I'm
like
in
when
there.
I get on a show and I see other people like me, and I'm like, oh my God, we made it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is my thing. I'm like, I don't want to compete with other people. Once we're in there, like, we're all making the same show. It's a family. I think when the people get on well, it makes for a much better work environment.
And I think in your role, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's not only about, I get the scarcity. Women have been raised to be competitive with each other because there's never enough seats at the table for us. And we look at another woman and we think, well, it's between you and me and I want to win. Like, I get that, but that's not our making. That's why if a woman wins, it's a win for all women, because hopefully she's going to look back and say, I'm going to bring in some new chairs to the table.
Yes.
That's what you hope.
Yes.
Hopefully. I say that.
I've done it.
Oh, we do.
Yes.
I was a showrunner and exec producer on Bob Hart's, and I employed other women in the writers' room. I was like, I'm bringing as many as I can in before they close that door.
That's it.
Yeah.
Give Emma a call. She needs some help.
We're gonna move on to this. Jenna Ortega turned heads at the Emmys in this 30-pound bejeweled Givenchy top. By the end of the night, we loved this, but by the end of the night, Jenna reportedly begged her stylist to do something more practical next time. So which got us thinking, is suffering for fashion ever worth it to you?
Anybody?
No?
Yes.
Thank you for the one or two ladies in the audience. Of course it's worth it. Did you see how great she looked? I think she made our best dress list.
She was my best dress.
Right? She made our best dress list. And that, I understand, was a 30-pound top. So she had to work out for it. I'm all for working out. If I have to work out so I can wear clothes like that, find me in the gym. I'm gonna be doing. Here's the thing. There is a hot tip though I have, okay? And maybe it's a little different because we're in this industry. We're very public facing, so we want to look great. And if that means I can't breathe for a few hours, okay, I can't breathe for a few hours. Here's the trick. If you are in so much pain, your feet are hurting, you're zipped up tight in your corset, here's the thing. Don't ever go to the bathroom and try to get a break by loosening or taking
you'll
it
never
off.
get back in.
You're never getting back in. So, hot tip. Just stay in pain, fight it out, ladies, to the end of the night.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
That's insanity.
How did I know you were gonna say that? You're not doing that.
Oh, I ain't suffering for no fashion. Sorry. I mean, look, the industry she's in, she's a young, beautiful woman, and they have to present a certain way. And that's why I'm happier I'm an old, fat lesbian, because... if I could turn up for the Emmys in sneaks and a t-shirt, I would. I've worn high heels 3 times in my entire life, and I was like, I'm never doing this to my feet ever again.
Have you ever had the experience of actually being at an event wearing high heels like you mentioned? I've had the experience where I'm talking, I'm like, I suddenly hate the person I'm talking to because my feet are in so much pain. And then you realize how many people are walking around hating me because their footwear choice is wrong. I don't know, I can't, as I get older, I cannot do it anymore. Except for this show, I do it, but you'll see, later on when we do a meet and greet, I'll be wearing fuzzy slippers.
Yeah,
I cannot do it. Got a limit.
I'm kind of the hybrid because, like you, Mel, I will suffer. If it's a red carpet, I don't care if that bobby pin is through my brain. I will keep it if that ponytail looks good. You know what I'm saying? I really don't care. But there are other things I hate things that are supposed to be comfortable that are uncomfortable. Like, I hate an uncomfortable flat shoe. That drives me nuts. And I remember, all those girdles and underpinnings that they have us girls wearing that are supposed to be comfortable. Yeah. There was one time that I was hosting on Your Morning, and I was like, I know we get up early, but I was like edgy. I was like, what's happening? Maybe it's the news, this world right now. I was like so upset. And then I went to the bathroom and pulled things down, and I was like, and I took it off and I threw it in the garbage, and I came back and it was a whole different show. I was like, welcome to Your Morning. Good morning, Canada. And I was like, so that stuff I won't do. The high heels I'll do, all the other stuff, but those underpinnings, not anymore, honey.
Well, listen, this is where people know it's a live show, because if they ever tune in and any of us are cranky, you're gonna be like, is that shapewear?
Yeah.
That
she got those Spanx on.
All right, so let's dive into our next topic. A dad wrote to the New York Times for advice on how to divide up his will. He says, I have 2 sons from my first marriage and a 3rd son from a later relationship. My 2 older sons stand to receive a decent inheritance from their mother. My youngest son's mother is not well off, and he will probably receive very little from her estate. So should I revise my will to increase the amount that I leave for my youngest son to balance out what the older boys are going to receive? Right? So what should the dad do in this situation, ladies?
Oh, that's a hard one. Look, here's the thing, though. He says that the sons are close. So the best thing would be to sit down with the sons and go, hey, look, this is what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? And let them. So if the older sons go, yeah, give him more because we're going to get a lot. But then it could ruin the relationship with the boys if the older sons are going, no, don't give him any more money. Give us some. that could also destroy that relationship. So I would sit them down and let them talk about it amongst themselves and then go from there. Because obviously he might disenfranchise the older sons by giving the other son more money, and then there's an inequality there.
It's so complicated.
It's complicated, but I think you just brought up the word equitable. We understand there's a difference between giving equally and giving equitably.
Yeah.
Equal is $10,000 for each boy, as an example. Equitable is, based on your situation, let's work it out so everyone is kind of at the same level. That's different, right? Now, Yes.
You don't know what that mother's going to do with their money. That rich mum might die and leave all their money to a cat shelter.
Yeah.
It's true. No, it's true. It's true.
Facts.
First of all, bottom line, I hope everybody has a will. Yeah. I think the percentage of a number of Canadians who have a will is embarrassing. If you've got any asset, if you have a box that means something to you, you should be having a will. So that's number one. But number two, it depends. Every family's different. There could be some families who are like, you know what? When I leave, I'm going to toss the grenade over my shoulders. Y'all figure it out for yourself. There's some families like that. I think I love the approach of sitting down with the sons, but only if you already have a potential solution in your back pocket. If it doesn't go well, you're going to say, listen, I'm going to deal with it myself. After all, it's his money. He should decide, not the sons in the end of the day. So here's what I would do. I would say, on paper, all of them get the same amount of money. But then for the son who you think might potentially be in a bit worse of a situation, you get creative. You might leave him an extra asset. It might be a special watch. It might be a trust fund that he can only access later in life. It might be something a little bit more that he could either keep for sentimental reasons or he could pawn it off. So I just think there is a way to be equal and equitable for your kids.
Those are very reasonable, adult, mature points.
But
the equally and the equity, and then where does the family drama come into that? Because I have a friend who's dealing with that right now. There are 3 children. Both parents are now gone. The father just recently passed away, and the father has decided to leave one of the children the majority of his assets. And I know that the law says you're not supposed to know what's in the assets, but if you're part of the family, you know how many houses, you know about the cottage, you know about the cars, you know about the ring, you know about everything. And you're waiting to see what you get.
Okay, why? Can I ask, do you know why?
And here's the deal. Family drama. It goes deeper than anybody except for the people in that immediate nuclear family know. But I just know this. There are siblings right now who are at odds with each other. Even at the funeral, they were at odds with each other. They cannot sit down and have a conversation for 2 seconds because there are all of these feelings. And everybody's waiting to see who gets what. And that part, I want people to think about where I hear you. Equality and equity, but also just think about this. If you are leaving one thing to one child, know that you're leaving them in a whole heap of drama to hash out with their family members, which might divide the family even more.
I hear you. I'll just say this, as Gina pointed out, these siblings like each other.
Now.
So I think that is, I would understand.
Until you realize you're not getting the cottage.
I don't know. I would understand if somebody in my family, if the message was, I know that I've made more money in my lifetime, or my family, my mother made more money, and then this extra sibling, it has a different situation. I would feel absolutely fine about that if I loved that person. I think we would all like to think, I mean, we're not talking about gargantuan differences. If it's sort of reasonable, I think the only caveat I will say, and this is the thing that you can't know, is that what if then 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road, whatever, that person comes, wins the lottery or something like that. And then you might be, as a sibling, being like, wait a minute, how do we then get some of that money back?
That lottery winner should go, you know what, here's some money back, because...
Exactly.
But money destroys relationships.
It really does.
And changes people. So you just don't know.
Yep.
You know.
Well, good luck, Dad.
We're gonna move on to this.
Good luck.
Because one BC sushi restaurant owner is making headlines after limiting soy sauce. So he said on social media, it is packed with salt and it drowns out all the flavor of sushi. And he wants his food to be enjoyed in the right way. So is he right or wrong?
He's wrong. He's wrong, and I'm gonna say it. Listen, I love sushi, but I hate being told what to do. If I order the sushi and I pay for it with my money, it's between me and my doctor about my blood pressure, and if I wanna drown my food in the soy sauce, I will drown it. And I feel like I'm getting so angry. I feel like I'd be so worked up. I feel like this anger comes from, you know how steak eaters are very, I know, rub my back. You know how steak eaters are very elitist, where it's like, you're not supposed to get it well done. You're supposed to have it medium rare because then you can't get the juices. And oh my God, you put ketchup on your steak. All these rules that I've adhered to, eating this raw meat, watching blood on my plate, going, why am I doing this? Because somebody told me, if I order the food and I pay for it, I can put it on my head, I can do whatever I want with it, I can mix it with sand. I don't understand why you think you get to tell people how much they get to dip.
Gina?
I'm with the chef.
We were getting along so well, Gina.
I know. Here's the thing. I understand. When you train, you know, these sushi chefs, they do some ridiculous training to build the skills to wrap a piece of raw fish in rice. I don't understand what the training is, but it's a lot. So I can understand how upset you get. Because sometimes I go to really nice restaurants with some of my friends, and then they'll open their purse and bring out ketchup. And I'm like, we're spending $400 on this meal. Are you serious? So I understand that. And the whole medium rare. Listen, I used to be a well-done steak person. I did. And I heard that chefs didn't like it. And I was like, whatever. I'm black. My food has to be cooked all the way through, right? But...
What happened?
I had a medium rare steak one time and I was like, I have seen the light.
There you go. You gotta try it. That's the thing. It's kind of like Gina, you left us.
You can, it's almost like chefs, many of these chefs out there, what they produce are works of art. And so it would be like going into a gallery and deciding, I don't really like this thing, so I'm just gonna add something to it. We would never think to do that. I don't see why we think we can do that with food.
No, we shouldn't. I mean, listen, if this is a restaurant that you go to all the time, we also have free will as customers. So if that's important to you, if pulling out the hot sauce and the ketchup is important to you, then find a restaurant that's okay with that. I think I respect the art and sushi and many forms of culinary cuisine. It is an art form. I don't want to undersell these chefs at all. So if he says this is as much soy sauce as I'm giving to you.
It's also a health concern too. But we can
decide that.
Let me worry about my health.
I can decide that.
Let me worry.
I just think our control as a consumer is if you don't like it, then don't go back to that restaurant.
See,
we have choices too.
Or you could go to that restaurant and then take that soy sauce and just keep pouring it while you look them dead in the eye.
And have a heart attack.
And then you come back and there's a poster of your face on the walls. Just do not let
this black girl in.
Okay, hold on to your seats. We have piping hot breaking news. The official FIFA World Cup 26 mascots have just been revealed. Meet Maple the Moose, representing Canada, Zayu the Jaguar for Mexico, and Clutch the Bald Eagle for the USA. So, adorbs, what makes a good mascot, though, ladies? What makes a good mascot?
I mean, I think they have to be cute, like adorable. And I think those qualify. Those are pretty adorable. The mascot that stands out to my mind that is just sort of like what went wrong here is the Philadelphia Flyers mascot, Gritty. Do you guys remember Gritty? There is something very wrong. Like, I don't know. I know he's supposed to be now a monster who was supposed to be, like, the backstory is that the guy who designed it wanted him to make him kind of an anti-mascot who represents establishment. But if you don't know that backstory, he's just weird. I don't think that works, and I will stand by that.
Wow.
All right, what about you, Gina? What mascot do you like?
Okay, here's the thing. I'm from England with real football.
Ooh. FIFA's real football.
Not soccer, it's football. It's footy.
Got you.
Footy.
Okay, got
Not
it.
wrong.
All right. And we don't have mascots in England. We haven't got people who are paid to dress up as Muppets and dance on the field. So the whole mascot thing is confusing to me at best. But they are cute. It's cute.
Yes.
It's just odd, because I'm like, ooh, adult football goers believing puppets and...
Puppets? It's right. Isn't it for the
They're
kids?
like human-sized puppets. It's weird.
Is it for the kids? Like, do we think that
it's for the
No,
fans?
I think it's for the fans.
It's for everybody.
I don't know who decides, like who's sitting at the table when someone at Delta State University in Mississippi decides that fighting okra is the best mascot that they could come up with at this university.
Wow.
There's a lot of things happening. Fighting okra doesn't even have shoes, okay? He's got boxing gloves but doesn't have shoes. So I think there has to be a committee, and you got to have all ages, because that should not be allowed outside.
It's also a weird thing.
Anywhere.
Okra's a weird choice. I feel very awkward talking about this because I'm actually in a relationship with a mascot.
What?
It's a situationship. It's a situationship. Listen, just roll the video so you guys can see that, what happened between us. So his name is the Raptor, and you see that's my hand.
Oh. So
I'm not saying I got it, but I got it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So does he wear the costume in bed?
Of course. I mean, that's part of the deal.
I believe you've just unearthed your fetish.
Are you furry? Maybe I am. Maybe I am. Why am I so hot? Oh my God. Yeah. Whew. Like I'm in a costume.
Listen, everybody, FIFA World Cup 26, we know it is the biggest sporting event to ever touch down on Canadian soil. Put this on your calendar. It's going to come before you know it. It begins June the 11th, 2026. Now, TSN, right here on CTV and RDS, we are your exclusive homes for all the footy action, okay? All of it right here. All right, so Gina, we said off the top you're a comedian and clearly a very popular one. You've got not one, but 2 sold-out shows for JFL Toronto.
Yes.
It's happening this Saturday at Bloor Comedy Bar, but I understand that you are here. You're actually living in Canada. I know you're originally from the UK, but you're living here in Canada for the last 6 months.
Yes.
So tell us why, and also what do you find, funny about us, if anything?
Oh, I love you, Canadian. No, listen. I've been coming to Canada for over 25 years, doing the Just for Laughs comedy festivals in Montreal and Toronto. So Canada has always been like a second home to me. I'm here for 6 months of the year shooting Star Trek Starfleet Academy. I'm on there with the great Holly Hunter is our star of the show, and I'm the captain's #1. I'm an alien breed that you've never seen before. So I'm not going to be looking like this, people. I'm blue and scaly and reptilian. It's hilarious. So I'm here in Canada, and I love coming to Canada. But I've never experienced Canada winters. I had no idea. I'm from England. I was like, we've had snow. Whatever. I can handle it. I didn't get snow tires for my little car that I had here. And that was a mistake, because I didn't know about your snow here. Your snow is another level of
It
snow.
is another level. It is
And
another level.
I was driving Holly Hunter home because we had like a rap party at the end of last season's show. And I was driving her home in the snow in my little car with no wheels for the winter. Basically, I nearly killed Holly Hunter.
We're glad you
We skidded home
Yes.
from that party. So now I know, snow wheels, snow
Winter tires.
It's
Winter
true.
tires.
Gina, now that we know that you're here a lot, we'd love to see you back, and thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Subscribe to the Social Podcast so you don't miss a fiery debate. Until next time, socialites.